Hi, I'm Anya. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to change your life, but only for a month. If you are watching this video, you have probably been at the same spot as I have. That is wanting to become a brand new person starting from New Year or from the next month or favorite one from Monday. What I understand now, but what I did not understand previously when I was actually trying to do any of that, is that it doesn't really work this way. The way I see my life right now is that it is a system that has been forming over the years, and it consists of all those little pieces, habits. An issue with changing all of that all at once is that it's practically impossible. Well, at least I didn't manage to do that. I think it is possible though, but only under certain circumstances, probably due to something stress related. But when we're talking about New Year resolutions, this is something that requires a specific approach. What I'm going to tell you now is a method that I've learned about from Alonika Dobrovolsky. She is an NLP coach who is based in Moldova. I'm going to leave a link to her Instagram in the description. She's Russian speaking, so if you do know Russian, I'm pretty sure that she will change a lot in terms of how you see your life. I've been following her for years, and this method is only one of the things I've learned from, and I've been practicing it for some time now, so I'm going to share it with you. The whole idea of this method, which is basically a self-discipline game, is that you sign a contract with yourself in which you promise to refrain from doing something that is askesis and promise to do something that is vow. And you only do so for a limited amount of time. I think that this is genius. The way I see it now is that when we try to give up a habit or to introduce a new habit, when we tell ourselves that it's going to be for the rest of our lives, well, that is the intention, right? That is what we want the end result to be. But the brain starts to resist it because it's too big. But when you have a deal with yourself to either give up a habit or to take up a new one, only for a month, it's a different thing. This is only a summary of this method, and I'm going to give you some of the points. And in the end of the video, we'll go through the contract that I have signed with myself for the month of July. I've already played this game 9 times, and I was surprised with the number because I never focused on the number. But it is so satisfying, and the more you do it, the more you realize that you can do it. So I have already signed 9 contracts with myself, and the one for this month is contract number 10. The first principle is that the date when you start it should be a special one. Our brain loves symbols. So one of the ways you can simplify this process for yourself is pick a special date, as special as it gets. It may be the first of the month, the first Monday of the month, your birthday, or any other date that is special to you. For instance, this month I've started the challenge on June 29. That is Monday. But when I was signing the contract, I realized that only a couple of days ago it was 26/6/2026, and this date felt magical, but it's okay. Monday is okay. Think about the date. Step number 2. Think about what you're doing it for, what values you dedicate this challenge to. You can Google different values and go through the list, or maybe if you have something special in mind, you can just go for it. Picking 2 or 3 values is enough. For instance, for this particular month, I chose 3 values, that is joy, life, and creativity. The reason why I chose those is because I've recently felt like I was lacking something, and it expressed in those words: joy, life, and creativity. These are 3 values I'm dedicating this particular challenge to, but you have to pick yours. Start slow. Alonika, the creator of this method, recommends to choose no more than 6-7 vows and askeses overall. But when you start, and if this is something unusual for you, you can start with a smaller number. For instance, 2 vows and 2 askeses would be more than enough for the first time. And if you like this game/challenge and if you would like to continue playing it, you can take more the next month. Since it's my 10th time, for this month I took 4 vows and 4 askeses. But at this point I feel experienced in this game. You have to sign an actual contract. You can type it, but the recommendation is to do it in writing. Here's an example of a contract. I, your name, promise to refrain from doing the following things every day from date month year to date month year with ease and gratitude. That is where you write all your askeses and promise to do the following things every day from day month year to day month year with ease and gratitude. And that is where you write your vows. Then you add what you're doing it for. The values I've mentioned previously. For value 1, 2, and 3, if you have 3. Then in the end, you write I agree and add signature and the date when the contract is signed. What exactly should you be writing in this contract? For vows, think about something you wanted to start doing for a while but have been procrastinating with actually starting. And not only you will be doing it for 1 month, but also the duration of an action should be regular, preferably daily. You commit to doing this particular thing for no more than 15 minutes. So you promise to do something for a month for around 5 to 15 minutes on a daily basis. This is a very cool trick where you relax your brain a little bit. You don't give it a chance to procrastinate that much because there is no commitment to something big, long-lasting, life-changing. 5 minutes a day, every day for a month, we all can do that. In this way, by the end of the month, you will realize that you can actually do the thing you have wanted to do for so long. And that is your call, whether you want to keep doing what you've been doing and, for instance, increase the amount of time you will be doing it for. Or you can give it up. Commitment is only for a month. It's also important that this is an action that you have control over. Like starting to do morning warm-up exercises is something you have control over. That is something you and only you are accountable for. That would be our vows. What about askeses? Things that you promise to refrain from doing. Those should be some things that you have difficulty saying no to on a 5-6 out of 10 scale. But it's important to mention that it's not something that is defined as an addiction. And a very important note is to treat this like a game, because it is. Don't take it too seriously. I feel like from my own experience, all those life-changing commitments I've been trying to do over the years have failed because I have treated it so seriously. Yes, it is a challenge, but what if we treat it more like a game? What this exercise helps to develop, and I have noticed it over the 9 previous times, you know, like we as people tend to get offended when someone gives us promise and they don't stick to it. It doesn't feel very nice, right? But how often did you give a promise to yourself with which you didn't follow through? I'm pretty sure I can remember this happening. This challenge teaches you to keep promises to yourself in the first place. And it builds self-respect. By the end of the contract, it is worth counting your success rate. How much have you actually succeeded? Life is not perfect. Today, you think that you're gonna complete all of your commitments, but there might be days where something doesn't go the way it should, and those days you might skip. It's fine. But still, by the end of the month, count your completion rate, and you would be very surprised, believe me. To illustrate better, I want to show you example of my contract. I actually wrote it by hand, but for the sake of the video, let's check out a typed version. I, Anya Kerim, promise to refrain from doing the following things every day from June 29, 2026 to July 31, 2026 with ease and gratitude. It's worth noting that those are actually 5 weeks. If it's your first time doing that, consider starting with 4 weeks. What am I actually refraining from doing? Watching YouTube videos, movies, and TV shows, as well as using Instagram, except when I need information for practical purposes. For instance, watch a tutorial. This is basically a social media detox. You might have heard about them, you might have tried them myself. Over the years, I have already had 2 or maybe even 3 social media detoxes. And from my own experience, I know how mind clearing they are. I haven't given up social media completely. These detoxes have helped me build healthier relationship with social media. However, it's one of my coping mechanisms when I'm feeling overwhelmed with things to just start doom scrolling or fall into the abyss of YouTube algorithm. And every time when this actually happens, I prefer to go through a social media detox to get back to a healthier behavior. What I didn't mention previously, and you can see it here, I have added except here. It's important to think about all exceptions for your askeses and vows. For instance, here I added when I need information for practical purposes. Well, yes, I'm not adding tutorial watching to entertaining purposes. And this is not actually something I need on a regular basis, but I assume that throughout 5 weeks, there might be a point where I might need it. So not to break my contract, I've added this. Think about those very well. My second askesis, Googling except when I need information for practical purposes. This is kinda a part of a social media detox, but not really. Maybe you've noticed it with yourself that sometimes you talk about some random thing and you feel an urge to Google, or it's 2026, ChatGPT it maybe. You feel the urge to check it. Some random facts you actually don't need for your existence, for your life, for no reason. You're gonna Google it and forget it in a second probably. Or one of the things I've developed here in Canada because of lack of social interactions is reading Reddit, because it gives you some sort of a weird feeling of community. Actually, there's so much trash information out there as well. I have written it down as a separate askesis with an exception that it's 2026. I cannot not Google it all, but only for an actual reason. My askesis number 3 is cheese. As well as with social media, food is one of my coping mechanisms. And in the very stressful life moments, I start to eat more, and fat food is my kryptonite. Yes, I love cheese. Maybe you've noticed when you eat some fat food, such as cheese or peanut butter, life starts to seem so much better. This type of food has a soothing effect, so I need to limit myself at least for a month. Askesis number 4. Dinner except a vegetable smoothie with protein or attending a social event. It's a weird wording because I wasn't sure how to word it better. For the context, I was on intermittent fasting for more than a year, and then I reverted back to 3 meals. But in terms of my relationship with food, that period was literally the best in my life. But I still want to go back to intermittent fasting, so I decided to start having a vegetable protein smoothie for dinner, which is kind of a meal, but also maybe not really. That's why I've added it to the askesis. But an exception here would be if I'm attending a social event, I wouldn't bring my smoothie there. It's a bit too much. Then the vows, and promise to do the following things every day from June 29, 2026 to July 31, 2026 with ease and gratitude. Upload 2 YouTube videos a week. If you're watching these videos, you obviously know that I do have a YouTube channel. It is my hobby. And I feel like I've never actually committed to it. There was a period this year when I was uploading one video a week for a month. It was a part of another discipline challenge and another assigned contract. I did it. It felt manageable and I wanted to focus more on this creative outlet. But like with everything in life, at least for me, I have to discipline myself to focus more. My first thought was, what if I start uploading one video a day for a month? How cool would that be? Yeah, great idea, right? What would be wrong with this vow, and this is something for you to consider for your contract as well, is that if something causes too much of anxiety, this is probably too much for you at this point. I gave myself a chance to think about this idea of one video a day for some time, and every time I referred to this thought, I felt very anxious. I didn't feel like I would be able to pull it. Well, maybe because the most regular I went was one video a week, so it's a bit too much, right? I gave it a thought and I just decided to take a baseline of what I already did and to increase it a little bit just to add more challenge, and that is why I went with 2 videos a week. Honestly, this is the only vow I don't feel very confident about still because it's so much work and I do work full-time, but I've already uploaded 2 last week, so there is some success rate at this point. But anyways, remember that we're not taking this too seriously. I'm dedicated, I'm doing it. I'm aspiring to it at least. If I don't hit all goals, it's also fine. It's just about pushing yourself a little bit more. Vow number 2, walk for at least 1 hour a day. Easy peasy, okay? With this one, I feel super confident. I love walking. I usually walk 3-4 times a week for an hour. So if you like, committing to daily walks is pretty manageable. I'm not a sporty person. This is almost all physical activity I'm getting. So point here is don't compare yourself to anyone else. See what's comfortable for you right now and just raise that bar a little bit and you will be surprised. Vow number 3, jump rope at least 10 minutes a day. This is an interesting one. As I mentioned before, I'm not too sporty person as probably everyone in this world. I have committed to gym memberships a couple of times in my life and didn't go through with them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's pretty damn difficult to go from a couch potato to that person who goes to gym regularly. So I'm constantly exploring ways to add some physical activity, but in a way that wouldn't repulse me. And I decided to go with jump rope because this is one of the things I used to love as a kid. Growing up, I just let it go. And you know, basic jump ropes are cheap and you don't need more than that. Just take a rope, get out there. I've already been doing this for a week, and the first time I could jump 3 times in a row. My body completely forgot how to do that. By the end of week 1, I jumped 60 times. So just over the span of 7 days, I think I remembered how to do that. And sometimes I even feel like there's certain joy I'm getting there. So look for something yours, something you are striving for. And my tip is to search in your childhood. You might find something exciting there, something you just forgot, and maybe it's just about time to recall. And in the end, we're eating what we're doing this for. This month, I'm personally doing it for life, joy, and creativity. You might be doing it for so many different things. Go through a list of values. See what resonates with you. I signed it on June 28, 2026, 1 day prior to the contract start date. And this is how you can build self-discipline by signing a contract with yourself for a month. Let me know what you think about what I've told here. Have you tried discipline challenges? What do you think about those? I feel like if we committed to taking those small steps for a short period of time, it would yield the most amazing results in our lives. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you'd like to. Bye!